Hi, I'm going to go ahead and do this audio video tape because I don't trust myself to go over the time allotted that I need to do this. So if it's too fast, you can go back over it. You can read it by yourself, whatever you would like to do. Our learning target is I can create an engaging hook and a powerful conclusion. First thing we're going to do is go over and review an engaging hook to your introduction and powerful concluding statement to your conclusion. We'll begin with a one video, the first one, and then the one that says this one, kind of to show you what we're looking at with combined leads all in one. Complete your 3-hook worksheet and turn in by 11:59 tonight. Here's a breakdown that will actually be on your announcement sheet as well. Now, keep in mind that the due dates this week are a lot different than they usually are, because if you look at the very top, you have an assignment due tonight. That's why I want to get the directions over with so y'all can start working on it. The 3-hook worksheet's going to be due tonight at 11:59. Chances are you'll get it done in class. And I don't mind if y'all work together on this. If you find someone you'd like to pair up with, or maybe 2 other people you want to triplet up with, however you say that, please feel free to do that. So that's due tonight to your link. Okay, then tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night, you add your introduction with that hook that you decide on from that you turned in tonight. You have 3 hooks, you choose one of them. So this Tuesday night, you add the whole introduction with a strong hook and the conclusion with a powerful concluding statement. Now, remember, the conclusion actually starts with a restatement of the thesis. Add that to the rough draft. So you've got your 4 paragraphs that you turned in last night. So now you're going to add the full introduction and conclusion to it. Revise it. Okay, so that's due on Tuesday night. Revise and edit one classmate's research paper and upload it by Friday night. Actually, that's the wrong date. I believe that is March 3rd, and I will correct that. But let's say that Elizabeth has Thomas's paper. And so I put them in a group together so that they only see each other's rough drafts. They're going to do the file exchange thing. Elizabeth is going to edit his rough draft. He's going to edit her rough draft. And the reason it's due Friday on file exchange is because your final rough draft, if you want me to look at it, is due Sunday night. If you turn it in after Sunday night at 11:59, I cannot guarantee you that I will be able to go over it. And I'll only go over it if you have proof that someone has revised and edited your rough draft, someone other than you. So it's in your best interest to do that, because yes, you do get 5 points, and no, you don't get 5 points if you don't do it. But the benefit of having the teacher look over it, now that's something worth submitting it for. So with that in mind, your final draft worth 200 points, so you really want to do well on this, is due a week from Sunday. So you turn in the rough draft with all 6 paragraphs. It's been revised and edited and returned to you by your classmate Friday night. You go over it on Saturday and Sunday and turn it in Sunday night. And I return your final grade the week of spring break. All right. And then we're done. When we come back from spring break, we'll start another project. So it's very important that you turn this in and follow these deadlines. Again, I'm very sorry. I will put March 3rd here because that's incorrect. Then on Wednesday, you're going to start looking at all parts of the rough draft. You're going to turn. Actually, I think I did correct it. I'll put the other amended copy on here. You're going to start proofreading the partner's rough draft and return it to the partner. So I'll actually let y'all start that on Wednesday, where you're looking at all 6 paragraphs, so you can turn it in Friday night. Turn in your uncompleted rough draft for teacher's review at the rough draft link Sunday, March 5th by 11:59. And this is the one that I'll return to you probably by Tuesday or Wednesday. Then that'll give you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until 11:59 to turn in your final draft. All right. Okay, let's go to the 3-hook worksheet. But before we do that, we're going to go to the PowerPoint. And it's called Writing a Great Hook. You got your little fish, you got the hook. This is your hook, your lead to your introduction. And this is hopefully what you do. And if you can look at it more carefully, you see the fish is smiling. Okay, make a connection by casting your line just enough to reel in your audience. Put questions in the audience's head, but do not tell the audience too much. Keep them guessing. So I put a quotation here, and it's the one that is going to get Donald Trump in a heap of trouble in the state of Georgia when he called an election official named Don Raffensperger and told him to conjure up 11,781 votes so that he could win Georgia and take that away from Biden. Okay, so I did that quote because I'm talking about the Electoral College, and perhaps I want to start with this to show how, while it can be compromised, the integrity of one person, such as this election official, can actually supports our Constitution. But what if he was not a patriot? What if he said, okay, I'll get those votes for you, knowing that he didn't have them, but he would lie? Then that means that our Constitution failed. But as it turns out, he didn't find what he didn't have. Okay, then begin with a question. Okay, again, Electoral College. How many U.S. presidents were not elected by the majority of the country's citizens? The answer may be surprising. 5. John Quincy Adams, Rutherford B. Hayes, Benjamin Harris, George W. Bush, and Donald J. Trump. Okay, this is not the one I had for that. So you can start by setting the scene. Now, watch, because an anecdote takes up a lot of sentences. So you might look at shortening it if you can, because this takes up a whole paragraph before you even put the context and then the thesis. The weather was near perfect as Mary and her friends enjoyed the sights and sounds of Universal City Walk in California. Blue skies and sunshine in the mid-70s with a slight breeze. Now, I probably would take out the blue skies and all that because it's just too long. But this day turned out anything but perfect. Mary and her friends were pulled aside by 2 plainclothes men and informed that they were violating federal law. The marijuana they were smoking, as one of the federal officers explained might be legal in California, but the federal government still considered it illegal. That's a scenario that could happen. Absolutely could happen. Okay, so what are some great types of hooks for your paper? So we have people in your class who want to talk about legalizing marijuana in Texas. Some want to talk about legalizing marijuana on a federal level. Oh, let me go back up. People want to talk about what they should do to avoid being scammed. Some of you want to talk about why 16-year-olds should not be allowed to drive unsupervised, why children's screen time should be limited. Some of you want to hold parents accountable for their children's crimes, using AI to thwart cheating, promoting genetically modified organisms, social media and mental health, gap year, raising legal drinking age, universal health care, benefit of oral contraceptives, evolving AI, which is shapeshifters, benefits of physical exercise, benefits of aerobic exercise. Okay, so start thinking, what would be a good hook for the legalization in Texas? Could you start with a question? Could you start with a statistic? Could you start with a anecdote? So, I mean, you think about what you want to do. But right now, and then we're going to go over to your hook. Okay, here's the 3 hooks worksheet. I'm sorry, but I just love art. You're going to fill this out and then save it and then upload it by tonight. Put your topic there, so it could be shape-shifting AI. Thesis with the supporting points. So you got to have your argument, and the 3 main points must be clear. Write your counter argument. Well, give me a quote, give me an anecdote, give me a question, give me an interesting statistic. Do something like that, okay? And then use another kind here and use another kind. So have at least 3 and turn those in, okay? That's due tonight. You go back over here. Okay, now let's go down to the booyah conclusion. So, they have the presentation. All right. All right. In the first paragraph, and this is how you can write one in 3 sentences, but they need to be powerful. This is your conclusion. Restate your thesis, which means put it in different words. Summarize your findings. Write a strong concluding statement, which could involve a call to action. So here's the original thesis. The Electoral College should remain as it is because it encourages candidates to campaign on a national level. Its outcomes are clear and decisive, and it maintains American federalism. Okay, when I get to the conclusion, remember the original thesis is the very last sentence of the introduction, but the restatement of it is the very first statement of the conclusion, paragraph 6. As controversial as it sometimes appears, the Electoral College serves to promote national campaigns, to provide accurate results, and to uphold sharing of federal and regional powers. Now, how does that compare? Well, it says it encourages candidates to campaign on a national level. Here it says the Electoral College serves to promote national campaigns. Okay, it's saying the same thing, but in different words. Its outcomes are clear and decisive. So to provide accurate results is the same thing. Its outcomes are clear and decisive, and it maintains American federalism. And it says, and to uphold sharing of federal and regional powers, which is the definition of federalism. So, two different ways of saying the exact same thing. That's what you must do. All of this is to say that the Electoral College is serving a purpose dear to the hearts of the founding fathers, giving all U.S. citizens the opportunity to elect their commander in chief. Whether one agrees or disagrees with the current electoral system, the best way he or she can let political leaders know is by voting. Put it all together. My restatement. As controversial as it sometimes appears, the Electoral College forces political parties to launch national campaigns, provides accurate results, and it keeps federal and regional powers in check. All of this is to say that the Electoral College is serving a purpose dear to the hearts of the founding fathers, giving all U.S. citizens the opportunity to elect their commander in chief. Whether one agrees or disagrees with the current electoral system, the best way he or she can let political leaders know is by voting. Booyah! You got it. Okay, let's go back to the beginning and let me show you a couple of movie examples of a great hook. One of the very first one is one of my two favorite movies of all time, Jaws. I don't care if it was made in the 70s, it can please watch it because it will scare you to death. This 50 years later, it's been almost 50 years, I guess in 2025, that'll be the mark, the landmark there. And then there are some other ones as well, but this one is, and it's not at the beginning of the movie. In fact, it's probably closer to the middle. And so they kind of start in the middle. They have several hooks, but this one should speak for itself. So you just click on
I was
play.
down to talk to my doctor about Rybelsus.
Ask your healthcare provider about Rybelsus today. GoDaddy is a partner that always puts you first. Start today at GoDaddy.com.
Go ahead. Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chump some of this. Need a bigger pouch.
Thought could be systematic, hydromatic, ultramatic. What could be greased lightning?
Greased lightning. We'll get some overhead lifters and 4-barrel quads, yeah.
To physics. What is physics?
Physics comes from the ancient Greek word physica. It's at this point that you'll want to start taking notes. Physica means the science of natural things, and it is there in ancient Greece that our story begins.
Ancient Greece.
Hush, if you have questions, raise your hand.
He took him with his foot and he kicked him. That's what he did.
Someone punted him?
No, wait, let me say something. Let me say something.
What? Ron, where are you?
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Okay, I'm going to stop that there. Now, that was a great example of how you would describe. You would say whatever the news anchor's name is. You would say he said he was in a glass case of emotion. He screamed unintelligible words as he cried like a baby and threw a tantrum, talking to his colleague on the phone. So you could describe that and describe his emotions. You could do that. This one, I don't know why they put Miley Cyrus in it, because honestly, I don't think it's a very good example, but I shall move on. I'm going to go to this one that has just about everything that each of those had. By the way, Grease Lightning, it didn't sound like dialogue, did it? But you know, if you've ever seen the musical Grease, that those guys do answer him. They're his backup singers. They say, "Go Grease Lightning," and all of that. So that is dialogue. Now, I'm going to give you one that sets the scene, it asks the questions, it defines something, and it shows emotions. So this one's all of them wrapped up. What I'm trying to tell you is you could have a hook that has multiple aspects of a great hook in it. It doesn't have to just be one. So just keep that in mind. If you've ever seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High, you probably can figure out which one this is. And this is a young Sean Penn, if y'all know who Sean Penn is.
There is an entire generation searching for God.
We don't belong here.
C, D, F, F, F. 3 weeks we've been talking about the Platt Amendment. What are you people? On dope? A piece of legislation was introduced into Congress by Senator John Platt. It was passed in 1906. This amendment to our Constitution has a profound impact upon all of our... Where is Jeff Spicoli? I saw him earlier today near the first floor bathrooms. Is he still on campus? Anyone? Yes, Desmond?
I saw him by the food machines
How long ago?
right before class.
Okay, bring him in. What is this fascination with truancy? What is it that gets inside your heads? There are some teachers in this school who look the other way at truants. It's a little game that you both play. They pretend they don't see you. You pretend you don't ditch. Now, who pays the price later? You.
Wait a minute, there's no birthday party here. Oh, man.
What's the reason for your truancy?
Just couldn't make it on time.
You mean you couldn't or you wouldn't?
It was like a full crowd scene at the food lines.
Food will be eaten on your time. Why are you continuously late for this class, Mr. Spicoli? Why do you shamelessly waste my time like this?
I don't know.
I like that. I don't know. That's nice. Mr. Hand, will I pass this class? Gee, Mr. Spicoli, I don't know. That's nice. I really like that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave your words on this board for all my classes to enjoy. Give me full credit, of course, Mr. Spicoli.
All right.
Okay. All right, one more thing before I let you start working on your 3-hook sheet is remember that that's due tonight on February 27th at 11:59 or any time before that. Then your introduction, the whole introduction and your whole conclusion are due tomorrow night. Okay, please remember that. Then your revised and edited full 6-paragraph rough draft should be revised and edited by a classmate that you're paired with. And you can choose and tell me, okay, we're going to be on a team together. If you want to have 3, that's fine too. But 2, as long as you can make sure that somebody else is going to look at it. Unfortunately, if you choose someone who doesn't reciprocate and doesn't revise and edit yours, you won't get credit for it. So choose somebody you can depend on. Okay, then you'll turn in your rough draft to me by Sunday night, and you'll get it back hopefully Tuesday or Wednesday at the very latest. So you can make revisions and additions and turn it in for your final grade on Sunday, March 5th. So I did go back and I did correct this date here. Well, have a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing what all you're going to come up with on your hooks and everything else.